Hans, is this exhibition a revolution?
Yeah, an evolution in the sense of that the idea is that the exhibition takes place all over, the Fondation Beyeler. It happens inside and outside. As Lina Bobardi once famously said, the insides are on the outside and vice versa. And of course, this is one of the few institutions which has a park, as the Serpentine in London also has a park, the Louisiana has a park, and there's very few museums at the end of the day who, have a park. And so, of course, the park is an integral part of this exhibition.
But
and it's all
what
bound.
is the evolution?
The evolution is that there are many different spaces in the museum which usually are not accessible, which are now accessible. There is lots of new functions, what one usually cannot do in a museum. For example, people can sleep in Carsten Höller's and Adam Horowitz's, dream space. The former sort of VIP room, which is a green room, is now a bestiarium. You can encounter a virtual AI turtle of Ian Cheng. At the same time, there is a new function. There is a library by Frida Escobedo, is the philosopher Federico Campagna. So there are just new, many new elements. And of course, it's all somehow held together by the fork of Fujiko Nakaya, who is now in her early 90s, and she, collaborated closely with Philippe Pareno, who did the tower, outside, and the fog and the tower interact. She collaborated closely with Precious Okoyamon, whose greenhouse is also outdoors and also interacts with the fog. So in a way, the works are all very connected, that there is a kind of an interdependence between the different works. That's also true for the collection, because as always with the Fondation Beyeler is, of course, the collection is at the center.
With a very special hanging now.
And there is a new hanging.
Amazing.
It's basically Tino Segal who developed a whole new, display, and the display is on the move, which means it changes not only every day, it changes several times a day, every couple of hours. One sees paintings, moving through the galleries. It's a process. And there are also it's a new way of looking at the collection. So in a way, lots of new works and lots of new encounters. And of course, many of the artists created new works. There's a brand new work, for example, by Sildo Meireles, who developed a sound piece. There is, new sculptures by Kushonga and Adrian Villarojas. There is new films by Cyprien Gaillard, the film by Arthur Jeffa. So in a way, all these works, have not been seen and are here, seen for the first time. And hopefully, it will be many different new encounters.
So you don't want revolution?
No, I think it's interesting in a way that it's a process, it's a living organism, and so it's not from one day to the other that everything changes, but it's basically a process. The exhibition is a process, and we can see more and more that artists are interested in this idea of a living organism. And we worked very closely, of course, from the very get-go with artists on this project. So Precious Okoyom and Philippe Pareno are the two artists who have been involved as part of the group from the very beginning. And these, in their work, very often the works are living organisms. Philippe has, worked a lot with this idea of feedback loops, and that the works are living organisms. Precious works with gardens, as much as with exhibitions. So I think there is an interest in this idea of the living organism. So the idea that the group show can be a living organism is something which has been, interesting us for a long time. And in that sense, the exhibition is also a continuation. It's a collaboration also with the Fondation.
Tempo del Postino.
Yeah, exactly. So the exhibition is a collaboration also between the Fondation Beyeler and Maya Hoffmann's Luma. The camera is on the move. The exhibition is on the move, and now the camera is on the move. It's exciting.
So
camera on the move, camera on the move.
Thank you, Hans. My stabilizer is exhausted. Merci.
Yes, and so basically it's a collaboration between the Fondation Beyeler and Maya Hoffmann's Luma Foundation, and as part of this collaboration, there is of course a connection also to experiments we've done before, where the exhibition was a process. Tempo del Postino, where the artists were given time instead of space, which is an opera we did with Philippe Pareno.
Manchester
and here in Basel at the same time, also From the Moon to the Beach, which was an experiment where basically a sand situation went from a lunar landscape to a beach, and that was a project in Arles. And these are all in a way group shows as a living organism which evolve over time. And so in a way, for the visitor here throughout the summer, it will be hopefully an extraordinary experience to see many apparitions, and there will also be an apparition in the park by Dominique Gonzalez Förster every day. Yeah, it's also about apparitions.
Merci.